We've always thought of great athletes as the strongest, the fittest, chiseled to perfection. But what's a strong body without a sound mind? We're so focused on strength that we forget to strengthen our focus. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And while the greats mastered the body, the greatest mastered the mind.
Using a Zoom platform today. It is the first for both of us. We initially had something else planned, but the tech gods have no mercy. They do not like us today. Mercury is in retrograde, so we're using Zoom. Okay, talking about the title Meditation and the Art of Mental Fortitude, we have Dr. Pui San. Okay, so we've seen her before. You've seen her before. Let me read out her creds. So we know her as the Doctor of Sports and Exercise Medicine. If you want to learn more about Dr. Pui San, just go to her website, that's drpuisan.com. Okay, yeah. So going back to the topic in discussion today. So let's just throw it back to the doc herself. So what got you interested in this topic of meditation and the art of mental fortitude?
Hello. Okay, but I'm wondering whether they can see both of us at the same time, or is it just one or the other?
Yeah, I think you should stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Unshare screen.
Okay, stop share. There you go. All right. Is it gone?
And now I see you in full view. Okay, yes. Please answer the question. What got you into this topic of meditation?
Actually, not meditation per se. What actually got me interested is actually the psychology behind exercise and performance and endurance sports. I like the idea of mental fortitude sports, because sometimes when we do our training or when we race, we tend to have really good days and really, really bad days. And when you think back, you discount out your training, you discount out the weather and everything, you can't even pinpoint where exactly you went wrong. But if you were to really focus, you'll realize that you gave up on having a good race right here before the race even went south, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always wondering why or how I can actually make every single training and every single race a good one, at least here. Whether or not timing shows so, I don't really care, but when I cross the finishing line, I want to feel, I feel strong. I feel like I've hit the pace I want to hit. I feel like, everything is feeling good, no cramps. I feel like I can still run another kilometer or so, the sort of thing. So
yeah.
That actually got me interested first. Then in terms of the meditation part, that happened because of MCO. So when MCO happened...
Yeah, what skills did you pick up during MCO meditation?
that is one of it. So when MCO happened, I personally am not very good with adapting to change. That is just my personality. It works and it works for me to some degree. It doesn't most of the time. So for MCO, it didn't work because I needed to change to adapt to how things work. By the way, I'm still working. So I had to adapt to going to work blocks every single day to work. I had to adapt to doing a lot more work behind the scene in terms of paperwork, facing patients. I had to wear a mask consistently from the moment I step to the hospital until the moment I leave. So all these are changes that for me, all of a sudden was a lot and we had to adapt. And because of this, I started having a lot of anxiety every day, anxiety going to work, anxiety going to my everyday activities. When I have anxiety, I can't sleep. So it's like a very bad vicious cycle, and I wake up the next day feeling like shit, and then I have to work out and restrain. So it's like I feel like I was stuck in one place. So I thought, since people I see on Instagram posting they're cooking this, they're doing that, I was like, I need to do something too. So I decided to download one of the meditation apps, which we'll talk about later, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and via this meditation app, I realized that actually, yeah, I have never been taught or never learned how to control my mind. I've just let my mind run wild. I've let all this negative thoughts come in and flood my psyche, and it just goes from bad to worse very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So when I started meditating on an everyday basis, twice a day, 5 minutes, I felt that, the voices, the noisy negative noises are a lot less noisy at first, and then they become a little bit more sparse. I wouldn't say it went away. That would be a lie, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's a lot less. It's a lot easier for me to decipher which is bullshit and which is really real concern, because there are real concerns as well. And from that, I'm able to at least process my thoughts a bit better and come up with
Yeah.
for my everyday activities. So that is when I realized that actually I can pair two and two together and just achieve something, right? But that's when I reach out to you.
Yep. Yes, and which I'm very glad that you did, because I am also trying to bridge that gap between people's understanding of what meditation is. So a lot of people have it in their mind that meditation means, it's the woo-woo thing to do, right? You sit down all zen and you peace out. Eventually you change into this vegan person who eats only vegetables, and then you talk oddly. And then a lot of people are very freaked out by that, which is why when you talk about meditation, there's a stigma to it, saying it's too yin, it's too soft. But actually, in our everyday lives, we do meditate. Prayer is actually a form of meditation too, except that in meditative state, we are practicing, or we are really conscious about what's happening in the present time, being mindful. So a lot of people go through prayer thinking about what to cook for dinner or what happened before. So still they're not in a very present state. So I'm very glad that you brought in this into our conversation in our community, because it's important for us to stay present during training, during racing, during yoga. Yeah. So
Right.
we're applying meditation right now to endurance sports.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I will share back the screen now.
Yeah. Yes. We're sharing screen now, guys. Share screen.
This, yeah. So.
Oh, someone says that your sound is a little bit muffled. Maybe the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you need to hold on to the mic. It's super
course.
unpro, but
You know. All right.
Okay.
Can whoever that can't hear me now?
Okay. Can you hear Pui San now, Andrew? Can you hear?
Hey, Andrew.
Okay, I think he's fine.
Maybe he can't hear that ask this question. So okay, so
Right.
this is our topic. We're talking about meditation and the art of mental fortitude. So why are we doing this topic? We've already discussed it just now because of necessity in terms of how MCO affected me personally, and I'm sure it affected a lot of you guys as well. And secondly, is we want to see whether are we not tapping on an untouched area in terms of training and performance that we've never focused on much. Because all this while, for us, stream bike run is just put in more hours, put in more intervals, put in more training, But we are we maximizing our real potential in terms of our performance, right? So mental fortitude is defined as the ability to focus, right? Focus and to execute the solution or whatever solution you need to be when faced with uncertainty or adversity. Which, by the way, is now MCO is COVID everywhere. Okay, so first we need to realize that we don't know a lot about the brain and the mind. Even scientists are still arguing about it. We have data that shows that yes, working on the mind does help in performance, but whether or not it is hard data is very hard to say. Oh, can't hear.
Yeah,
You
that.
hear?
Now you can. Now you have to do that.
Yeah, it's terrible. So
I'll buy you a mic.
I need to.
Okay, yes. Continue.
So how much of your fitness is and your performance is actually your bodily fitness, and how much of it is from the brain itself, right? We don't really know because sometimes with all the training in the world, you are your fittest state. You turn up at a race, you race, but it's just not good, right? You just don't perform the way you want to perform. Whereas some days you're like worried that I don't think I ran enough. I don't have enough long rides. I've not done enough heat adaptation. You show at the race thinking, oh my God, I'm going to suck. I'm going to be the last person. I'm going to not make the cutoff time. And you just have the best race of your life. So a lot of these kind of things, we don't know how much of it is from your fitness, particularly, and how much of it is actually here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when we talk about all the woo meditation, prayer stuff, right? Some people ask that, can I just think my way to performance? Can I like tell myself and visualize every day I will
Affirmations.
cross the finishing line in like don't know how many hours? I think and think and think and it will happen. But people have asked me that before, so it's a bit hard to answer, but to some degree cannot. So we always like to think of the body as the body, the brain as the brain. So there is no connection. You think of it as separate entities. But if you go through it, you're going to realize that a lot of things actually is interrelated, right? So in the body, they look at your training, which is your fitness, your cardiovascular fitness, your
Mm-hmm.
muscular endurance. All this is your fitness. It's all part of the body, right? And when you want to optimize your body, we also talk about things like nutrition, talk about things like recovery. When we talk about the brain, we talk about things like able to focus, about hyperfrontality, which we'll touch on it later, and about meditation, which comes back to focus again. So we don't think of it as together. It's always separate. Sorry. So now, the first question we ask is now whether we can think your way to performance, right? It's a bit difficult though because when you train your body, you also train your brain. It's like when you train your body, you
Mm.
put yourself through hardship, you put yourself through a lot of discomfort, you are actually letting your brain accept that this is normal. Because what happens is our brain protects the body. The brain is preserving yourself. If you've never run a 5 minute pace marathon, okay, I have never, by the way, if you've never run a 5 minute pace marathon, okay, and you try to do it anyway, your brain is be overloaded by all the signals going like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So what the brain does is, I'm going to give you cramps, okay, I'm going to give you a lot of pain, and because of this, I'm going to make you stop. So the brain is trying to save you from doing something stupid, which is very, very good. The brain is very, very smart. So when you train and sometimes you push yourself in your interval trainings, in your long runs and stuff like that, your hit acclimatization, you are telling your brain, right, okay, you have to accept this discomfort. It is normal. I am not going to die. I'm not going to injure myself. So the brain's limit of acceptance of discomfort gets a bit bigger, 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 until the part that it can like 5 minute pace marathon, no problem. I can do it. Right? So it's not gonna stop you from killing yourself in that sense, right? So and then how in endurance sport we always say, oh, you have to embrace the suck, right? You have to HTFU, embrace.
Yeah, harder the
Yeah.
right.
But if you do not teach or train your brain to accept minimal amount of suck and slowly grade it and make it bigger and tougher, your brain is not going to embrace the suck no matter how much you tell yourself this. You can visualize this to the cows come home, you're still never going to be able to do it because your brain is not trained to embrace the suck. Okay? So when like I said here, without adequate training or fitness, you know how people say also, you have to dig deep. You are not performing because you need to dig deep enough. Okay, for you to dig deep, but it needs to have depth, right? Your training is the depth. If you train, there's a lot more for you to dig. As opposed to you don't train, you dig this much, that is your depth lah. You dig what?
Yeah, so these are all parts of why you need to train your body. So the next one, you're going to talk about the mental training.
Yeah. So sometimes this is the concept you have to understand. There's something called a mental fatigue, meaning your brain fatigues before your body fatigues. And a very good example of this is when you do your exercise. Let's say on a weekend, you wake up, you feel refreshed, you have a good breakfast, drink coffee, you go run, and you have the best training of your life, right? As opposed to after a very long day at work, you are rushing from meetings to meetings, your boss is bugging you about deadlines, you get stuck in the jam coming home, it's raining, when you come back, it's so late, you're tired, you're hungry, but you still have a scheduled 1 hour on the trainer. You get on the trainer, you realize that, oh my God, I can't do this. It's only zone 2 or zone 3, but I think I'm going to die. I can't get my legs to move. So how much of that is actually physical fatigue and how much of that is mental fatigue, we don't know.
Yeah, mental resistance.
Yeah. So if let's say you are training, if you have a very hard training, you always advise that you train on the days that you don't have to do a lot more of other things. And a lot more of other things doesn't mean it's physical. It could be just mental, like I said, like your meetings, your deadlines, stuff like that. Okay. Also, one thing is when mental fatigue is something what we call decision fatigue. A very simple thing is, let's say you go to shopping mall, or you go to a grocery shop. You go to the best grocery shop in town. Usually in the grocery shop you usually go to, right, there's only like three types of ramen lah. Three types of ramen. Okay. So to pick one is easy, right? Because you just need three.
Yeah. No, not a lot of options.
If you go to one grocery market that has everything under the sun, from your usual three, suddenly you have like 30 types of ramen. You're going to stand in front of this ramen rack, and it's going to take you a long time to choose.
Yeah.
You can't even choose. You just probably, what, I'm going to buy another day. So that is decision fatigue. And it's actually part of mental fatigue as well.
Decision fatigue. Okay. All right.
So decision fatigue is something we go through every single day. We need to decide. To decide, there is a lot of mental capacity is used to decide. So when you're overloaded with information, your brain goes in a way like a bit fried lah. So you can't really decide. You're like, okay, you know what, I'll do it another day.
Okay.
And same thing when it comes to training. So if how some people, they are trying to get back into training after a long time off or downtime or whatever.
Yeah, like at the MCO.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think a lot of people in your group is like training.
They're continuously training.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, we keep each other motivated. This is what we do as a community.
But there are some people who are not training at all during MCO. So let's say when they want to get back into training, to get back into training, you need to form a habit, ma'am.
Yes,
but
correct.
You tell yourself, okay, now that I'm going back to work already, I'll train after work, or I'll train after my kids go to sleep. But think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you send your kids to school, you go to work, you stuck in traffic, you go for meetings, your boss scolds you, or you have an argument with your colleague, you go for more deadline meetings, deadline punya proposal, get stuck in the jam, come home, put your kids to sleep, and then train. By the time, physically, maybe you're still
physically fatigued.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So that for people who are starting back on their routine, right, it's always advisable to start it when they are fresh, feeling a bit fresh. So if that means waking up a little bit early just to get your half an hour on trainer or half an hour on running around, it's easier because there is less mental fatigue there. So that is what I mean by mental fatigue. Yeah. Okay. This one is always say, right, when you run, you're in the zone. zone, right? Zone.
What's the zone?
What are we talking about? Twilight Zone?
Everyone says in the zone, get your head into it, all these phrases, but do they really know what I mean?
No, they have no idea. Okay, so for people who don't are not familiar what in the zone is, right? A lot of times when you're doing zone 2 training, or that is the best time to be in the zone.
Oh yeah.
That you all the noises and all the chatter in your head just quiet down, and you can feel your heart beating, you can feel your legs moving, everything seems to be in sync, everything seems to come so easily, right? That is in the zone. Okay, so to get in the zone, we need to understand what is hypofrontality. If you Google hypofrontality, right, a lot of times you will come up to things like mental disorder, but that is because there's permanent hypofrontality. What we're talking about is transient hypofrontality, which means it comes and it goes. Okay, so if you can see on the screen, there is a cut section of the brain right in the center down to brainstem, right? And you will see in the very front there is this purple color thingy of the brain. That is what we call your prefrontal cortex. Okay, that part of the brain thinks. That part of your brain is your conscious part. Okay, every time you need to make a decision, that part of the brain fires. Okay, so imagine that you need to make a lot of decisions, a lot of thoughts coming through your head, a lot of nonsense in your head, go to Facebook and stuff like that, you see people arguing and stuff like that. So this part of the brain is computing, right? So when this part of the brain is computing, you are forever thinking there's something in your head at all times. But if you were to get this part of the brain to reduce its firing rate and not think so much, that is where you are in the zone, right? So you want to deactivate it temporarily to get you to feel like, wow, that's feeling. No wonder I love to exercise. And the moment you stop exercising, it goes away. That's true. Okay? So you will find that when you exercise, let's say you're running, you're doing a zone 2 run. You know that zone 2 runs, right? You can actually talk to a friend, you can actually discuss ideas. It's leisure, it's enjoyable, but your brain can process a lot of things. If your friend gives you a theory about, I don't know, some conspiracy theory about COVID or whatever, right? You can still process, right? When the exercise intensity increases, let's say your friends are like, hey, got a hill, let's sprint up that hill, right? So you sprint, suddenly you realize that your entire view in front of you is just focused on the top of the hill, and it becomes very narrow. It becomes very your focus is like hyper intense. All right, that actually, to be fair, is actually in the zone because you're already like there, right? So let's say you want to hack your brain. Like nowadays, a lot of like life hacks nonsense lah. Okay. One very simple way, right, when you are in the suck, before you can learn to embrace the suck, right, is just to smile. Okay? Because there is a theory where how your facial expression is, your brain doesn't realize whether it is real or it's not real. So if you smile, your brain thinking, hey, you're happy. Oh, it mustn't be that bad. All right. So when your brain thinks that, your body ultimately also adjusts. So if you smile when you are really, really gonna dying, climbing
Much
up,
like Kipchoge lah.
yeah, like smile.
Yeah.
Right? So your brain will automatically think that it's not too bad. I think this is doable. Climb up, lose weight, no problem. I'm smiling.
This is zone 2.
That is so true, no problem. So that is also where you try to have fun. When you have fun, automatically everything becomes easier, and you tend to smile and laugh a lot more as well. Okay, and this is also very common. Let's say you're cycling up with a friend. Let's say from TT back to Perez lah. I hate that hill, 50 km up the hill.
Yeah, me too.
Right. So you're cycling, like, let's say your friend is right next to you. You shouldn't, but you should be behind, but let's say he's next to you. And your friend tells you a joke and you start laughing. Suddenly, that that hill doesn't feel that difficult anymore. It feels like so simple. You laugh, and you know, I'm going downhill already. I have to rest. Right?
Mhm.
And this is for me. This hits very close to home because when I was doing ultra marathons last time, you know, Terence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Sifu.
Super Terence. So when I was doing a lot of marathons and ultras, right, he used to be next to me and he'll tell you the silliest joke ever, you know. And then you at the point before he came, you were dying. You think like, oh my god, how am I going to survive another 20 km more? You come in, tell some silly joke, you start laughing. Next thing your legs have a bit more bounce. The pain is a lot less. So it's the same thing. When you have fun, when you smile, your brain doesn't perceive the activity
Yeah.
as detrimental.
Any threat. It doesn't perceive any threat to the body.
Exactly. So, and then also positive self-talk. A lot of times we tend to tell ourselves when we are suffering through a certain period of training or race, right? Tell ourselves, hey, see, you should have trained harder. That day we shouldn't have missed the long one. Hey, that day should have done the interval. I should spend more time moving now to start. That sort of thing. So that the brain will perceive as, oh my god, we are sitting down. We are going on into the red already. We need to pull back. So automatically your body will also react and go like, oh, I'm really cramp. No, I'm in a lot of pain. I can't do it anymore.
I cannot push another level higher. Save yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
So there is a 5 R's of positive self-talk. Let's say you get into a bad situation during training or during a race. You need to recognize that you're having a negative self-talk. So, oh, I recognize, or I tell myself, hey, hang on, this thought is not helping me right now. Why am I thinking like this? This shouldn't be happening, right? And then we tell ourselves, no, this thought is wrong. I refuse to believe that I did not train enough. I hope you train enough, lah, but this is only for people who actually trained up. Because if you really didn't train, right, there's only so much you can do, right? So,
Yeah. Also have realistic expectations of yourself.
you have to train, right? But let's say during you train hard and during that point in time during the race, where let's say it's like 5 km in, you're like, oh my god, I've another 15 km more to run, you know. So and then you start having these negative thoughts and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Catch yourself, tell yourself, okay, I recognize I'm having a very bad patch right now. I recognize that all these thoughts are coming in and it's not helping me. You catch yourself there. Then you tell yourself, it's not true. Okay, I've trained enough. I've gone through worse than this. I've done a lot more intervals under the sun. I've done all my long runs. No, I've stuck to my program. I've done everything I need to do to
Yeah.
get to where I am. So you refuse negative thought. And then you tell yourself, okay, because once you have a negative thought and your body is trying to shut down, you tend
Yeah.
to right? You'll be like, oh, stress and tense and everything, you're gritting the tooth and everything. Tell yourself, just relax. Breathe, relax. And then
Yes.
you want to tell yourself, okay, reframe what you're going through. Tell yourself, this is yes, I am suffering, okay, but I have enough training to pull me through. I have done my homework, I have done my preparation, okay, this isn't that bad, it's only 15 km, I've done a lot more than that in my training, and this is nothing. And then you resume your activity. So this 5 things you go through the moment you catch yourself. But the problem is whether or not you're able to catch yourself. That is where meditation comes in. You need to focus. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about visualization afterwards. And one thing I told you about yesterday was to give your training or to give your race a purpose. Okay. So yesterday we used the example of how in Ironman Kona they always have this like
Yeah, they have another reason.
the person, maybe the father passed away from cancer, the child has illness, and they're training to raise money for the child or the father or some charity, you know, and then they start crying in front of TV, and then you feel so terharu, and then when you watch the race, you're like, oh, I really want him to do well because he is like the story behind it is like so wow, right? So
Yeah.
actually for that person also it's a big deal because they have given a real real meaning onto why they're doing this. It's not just like, just another thing I need to do, my bucket list, whatever.
Yeah, their whys are very compelling.
Oh, yes. So you need to find your why. Like Simon says, find your why, know your why, right? So when you give purpose or meaning to something, for some reason your brain will be like, no, mati, I will get it done, right?
Yeah,
So
you see that a lot in our friends too. It's die, they will do it. They must cross that finish line no matter what. The desire to finish is very great.
yes,
I will give them that.
the purpose is. Sometimes the purpose is I do not want to fail in front of my friends.
Yeah, and that too.
It's to be able to attach your meaning and purpose to your training and to your race. It makes things a lot easier. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about visualization, right, we tend to visualize the perfect day, the perfect race, the perfect swim, the perfect 180 km ride, the perfect marathon, right? We imagine ourselves crossing the finishing line with a smile on our face, our legs not cramped, and then the timing that we want flashed across the timing board. That is what people always tell you about visualization. But what people don't touch on is you need to visualize the bad as well. Because like this, when you visualize, your brain thinks of it as somewhat true. Your brain thinks that is the way it's going to be, which is good. That's how you visualize it positively. But you need to also prepare for the bad, right? Remember, we're also training for the brain to embrace the suck. So if you visualize the negative part, let's say you come off the swim, you're cycling, you visualize yourself, I have a puncture. You visualize yourself, okay, now I have a puncture, I'm going to go to the side, what am I going to do? Right? You see yourself in your mind that you're coming off the bike, you check for anything on the whether you're safe or not, you take off your repair kit, you start repairing your flat. Then you visualize yourself putting everything back, putting the wheel back on, and continue. That is visualizing the bad. As opposed to you visualize only the good thing, everything is sunny, the weather is fantastic, best race ever. And then you in real life you get flat. Then you go like, oh my god, I did not visualize this, what am I going to do? You start crying.
So visualization is a very useful tool. So use it for good and for bad, for your own sake lah.
It's not for bad. It's just that you are trying to prepare your mind, your brain, that for the things that is possible to happen.
Might happen. Okay.
Because the chance of you getting a flat is actually very, very high when you're cycling.
Yeah.
The chance of you getting a cramp when you're running is very, very, very high as well. The chance of you developing a blister also is very high. You can put all the Vaseline you want, the best socks in the world, but there is still a chance of that happening. You cannot control your external factors. You cannot control the wind. No matter how hard you visualize or pray, you cannot control the wind. You cannot control the sun. You can't control that it will rain or will pour, right? None of these things is within your control. You can only control how you react to the external circumstances. So if I train my brain via visualization to react well during a bad outcome, your brain will react well when that actually happens.
Yeah.
Your brain only knows sunny day, no headwind, no crosswind, no friends, best photo ever crossing the finishing line. That's not what it is because things happen.
Yeah, I think I just want to add on to this part in visualization. Like you said, you're visualizing something that's going to happen, right? But your body is reacting to it as though it is happening at the present. So when it happens in the far future, you will know quite instinctively how to react towards the present moment, right? I think.
Yes, so this is what we talk about visualization. So to some degree, right, visualization is also something people do while they meditate. And to come back to the meditation bit, right, you want to be able to focus when you need to. You want to be able to react well when you need to. And a lot of this can be not perfect, I would say, augmented with meditation.
Yeah.
So I will give it to you as soon as we talk about meditation right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the next slide?
I said thank you.
Oh, that's it?
You
Okay. All right.
sharing you there.
Oh, so I have no slides. So I had no idea. Okay, so who else is here? So 14 people. So meditation. So I have to say, in seeing the presentation and what Doc has presented to us, it's great. I'm going to go back to the brain waves, the prefrontal cortexes. So in meditation, when we meditate, there are a few brain waves. I have no graphics to show you. So basically, when we are meditating with guided meditation or after yoga, that's called the alpha waves, where you are in a wakeful rest. So the other one that goes deep into a very deep meditative state is a theta wave. When you're asleep, it's actually a delta wave, and so on and so forth. So when you're starting your meditative state, the brain goes through its different levels, which is why you need to spend time and practice more this muscle of meditation. So a lot of people also ask, because I don't see any questions, so I'm going to answer all the possible FAQs when it comes to meditation, because I have a feeling that people don't know what to ask. Okay, so how long do you need to meditate? The prescribed time is 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so guys, if you have questions, you can ask now about meditation and all that. 5 to 10 minutes, preferably done daily. There are even studies that have shown that even your genetics, your DNA, the makeup of your DNA changes after prolonged and consistent practice of meditation, which is why you see a lot of highly effective people practice, do it as a daily practice. Yeah, so what else? Any questions or not?
I want to know how to start the practice.
Oh, okay. All right. So how do you meditate? Hopefully there are some people who are interested. Again, it goes back to you knowing yourself. Do you know yourself well enough to know what works for you? So we all absorb information and react to information very differently. It's based on your own personal modalities. So if you are a person who likes to look at things, you're a very visual person, yeah, so there's 4. Let me go through them first. So a visual person, an auditory person, and a kinetic person, which means you like to feel, you like to touch. Okay, so if you're a visual person, then I would suggest going for visualization, the method of closing your eyes and visualizing something. Okay, or just lighting up a candle, place it in front of you, light it up, and then you just focus on that one drishti, that we call it drishti, and you just look at the flame, and then you go into, and you slowly sink into your many waves of the mind. Okay, you go from your beta, you go into alpha, and eventually you settle into a theta wave. Okay, so that's one. If you're an auditory person, like me, I would, calming apps work. Things like Calm, the Calm app, the Headspace. You can download a free guided meditation from Spotify. You can just book, and then you just drift away, So all these guided meditations are about 5 to 10 minutes long. You can use those. And finally, the kinetic one. This is actually more for us, okay? So endurance sports, people who like to do sports, this is probably your thing. So while you're running, while you're swimming, while you're walking, while you're cooking, anything that involves movement can kind of transport you into a meditative state too. So choose yours. Okay, so I'm going to share this. This is the book that I read many years ago that did not sink in, which I hope, like I told Doc, hopefully by my second reading, I'll finally practice and absorb something. Yeah. So it's important first to understand which ones will work for you. Are you a visual person? Are you an auditory person? Are you a kinetic person? Then go do them. And then you need to go inwards, which is why the practice of meditation itself is so large and so complex. But I would like to give people that assurance that no one does it well. No one does it perfectly. It's impossible to do it perfectly, okay? So just as long as you keep consistent, you do it on a daily, I promise you that you will see vast differences of your before and your after. How you feel and how you think and how you react to situations. For example, again, we're bringing back the race. If you're having a sucky race, or if you're there's too much suck in your training, it's too much to bear. Okay, so how do you then go inwards and tell your mind to tell your body that it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Meditation means, again, going back to the pointers that Doc has presented, the breathing. In yoga, we teach people how to belly breath. Belly breath not only calms the mind, it brings in a lot of oxygen, right? It calms the mind, it calms your body cells, it oxygenates your blood. Your heart rate goes down. So as soon as you can calm down your heart rate, you are no longer in that fight or flight mode. Then you are more in control of your thoughts. You're more in control of your, the reaction that your body is reacting to said thoughts, right? Yeah, so that's one. Always we start with the breathing. Breathe very consciously. In your mind, hyper focus. I know when you're training and when you're running and you're cycling, there's no candle, there's no people chanting sweet mantras in your ear. So you can do that. You can do that on your own. You can just, say it to yourself, I'm embracing the suck. I don't know what works for you, okay? So just breathe and internally scan through your body. Communicate with your body to go inwards and start breathing. What works for me is hyper focusing on your breath. So I'll say I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Just continuously do that. What it does when you're repeating the same simple sentences of I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. You're focusing your mind on those two simple sentences. What actually happens, it removes the distraction, all the other noises, I don't know, CG Lim shouting on the roadside, anything, your friends talking to you, you are so in the zone, you have that bitch face that Harum is very famous for, okay? So that is you being in the zone, okay? So just breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. So these are the simple things that I can think of and that I personally apply during my training when I race, okay? And aside from that, it is actually that simple. You just have to focus on some patterns. I think we discussed this yesterday too. Even in your footsteps, your cadence, your breathing, when you run, the things that are moving beside you, trees, constant trees, as long as they're patterns. Yeah, just use those, just anchor those, and then eventually you will zone out and you slowly fall into the alpha states. And then you get into a very meditative state. So now the question is, once you're in this pure sense of calm and zen and in the zone, will you feel the fear, the pain, or the suck? The answer is quite simply yes lah.
Will not go away. It's just
Yeah,
that
it won't go away.
you're better equipped to handle it when it comes. Because let's be honest, you do not come into endurance racing because it is painless. You came into it because you want the challenge, right?
Yes.
But in it, you also want to perform well. You want to perform to the best that you can, and you have trained very hard for it. But it's just that sometimes during race itself, it doesn't go to the way that you want it to be. So when you can tell yourself that, you know what, this is okay, I'm doing fine. I'm still taking one step ahead of me. It
Mhm.
gets a lot better compared to, oh, when is this going to end? Oh my god, it's so hot. Imagine you have 3 more hours of, oh my god, it is so hot. It's terrible.
Yeah. So I don't know what else I would like to talk about meditation aside from maybe visualization. Maybe I want to repeat and clarify on that point because I kind of interjected with in your point. I stepped in. Okay, so meditation. The reason why it's 5 to 10 minutes, it's very short, it's very manageable, but a lot of people can't do it. People can't sit still for 5 minutes. So even in my yoga, I have to kind of give them an option. If you're feeling some emotions bubbling up when you're meditating, ideally you address it, okay? But I know for some people, they cannot wrap their minds around addressing emotions and feelings because we're all sports people, right? We want to just move and forget about things. Yeah. So in stillness, a lot of emotions will come to the forefront. When you run, when you cycle in silence, emotions will come to the forefront, right? Yeah. So the reason why it's 5 minutes and that's enough, 5 minutes, is because when you're meditating, you are being pulled into the present moment, right? Even now, as I'm sitting here and talking to you, I'm thinking about, who's messaging, are we having questions and all sorts. I'm still very much in the future, very much in the future or in the past, which is why time passes very fast for us. But when you're meditating, you are ideally pulled into the present moment. So when you're really, really present, really thinking through your thoughts, there's this one cue that one of our yogis sort of give us last time when we're down on Shavasana, which is stop, look, and listen. You're supposed to stop your thoughts. I know it's hard. Stop thoughts. Yeah, stop thoughts. Clear the mind, stop thoughts. And if there are some wandering thoughts and that kind of flows into the head, look at it and then listen to what it's trying to tell you. So, and then eventually you let it go, let it go. So there's always a repeat of let it go, relax, stop, look, and listen, really listen, be present and mindful and be hyper aware of what is happening at that present moment. And I bet you, I promise you, if you are in the present, time moves very slowly.
Very.
Very slowly. Yeah. Which is why 5, 10 minutes is stretching it. So just start with 5 baby steps. Yeah. Keep it consistent a few days a week. It's hard. That's why a lot of people can't do it. But the benefits from meditation is so great. Yeah. So I really hope some of you might try.
But let me just tell you what happened when I did it on the app and why I liked it so much. Because when I was just curious because people keep telling me, meditate. Like I know when they tell me that it's like a joke, but I actually thought, maybe I would try because long time ago when life was a lot simpler, when I used to do yoga a bit more frequent, meditation was like just like it's part of the end of the yoga class. It was never something you go back and you practice yourself, right? So, and because I had so much intrusive thoughts and negative feelings about this whole MCO thingy, I had nothing to lose. And all these apps online is like they give you like a free 7-day trial.
Trial.
So when I picked one because the color felt very calming for me. Right? So on that app itself, there was a 7 day starter pack, which means every day, every night, there was a 5 minutes of a guided meditation. So someone would talk me through a meditation, and um, and then you just see how it goes up. So the one that I went on, this guy's voice was very calming, very soothing. So plug you in, like,
You're such an auditory person. Okay.
and the first lesson was just to watch your thoughts, which means, right, they always tell you that, the thoughts will come in. That's normal. It will come in, it will go. It will come in, it will go. One is like 1 second you're thinking about breakfast tomorrow. Second thing is like what's for lunch. After that, it's like traffic jam. But what we always do is the thought comes in, we entertain the thought. Like,
Yes.
yeah lah, breakfast tomorrow. Don't know lah, what to eat tomorrow lah. I don't know. Tomorrow. No, so you entertain the thoughts, but as opposed to the thought coming up for breakfast, okay, it would just go, right? And I do a lot of readings of nonsense like that. So if you read about The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, they talk about you watching your thoughts as an outside person, and throughout the book, as he writes, right. By the way, his writing is a bit hard to read lah. I never finished the book. It's so annoying. But
Why? I like it.
I hated that book. I don't understand why on the Oprah reading club though. So in the book itself, right, he gives you a cue, which is a symbol that tells you once you see this cue, this symbol, you're going to stop and look inward and ask yourself, what am I thinking of right now? And you realize that when you ask yourself the question, right, your brain goes quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet until you continue reading, and then it's like coming, and then the symbol comes out again. Look at what you're thinking. You look in and you're like, it's quiet again. And when you look in and it's quiet, you realize that, hey, it's never been quiet ever. It's like the first time ever, right? So let it come. Don't fight it. So the first few days, it's like thought will come, traffic jam, paperwork, my colleague, the patients, it will just come. But if I don't entertain it, it will just go away. Go away. Then after a while, you realize that, hey, it doesn't come in as often anymore. It's just a lot quieter. It does occasionally come in, but it's a lot quieter.
Yeah.
You learn to, and then they will guide you through how to listen to your breathing. So every time a thought comes in, you don't entertain it, it goes away, then you focus back on your breathing. It's very easy that way. And 5 minutes actually does pass by very fast. And I realized that if I do it before sleep, a lot of times, before the 5 minutes is up, I'm like, amazing. It really helped with sleep. Really.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, correct.
If you were to do it like on your own, you say, I'm cheapskate, like I don't want to try the app. Free also, I don't want to try. I want to do it on my own. I'm hardcore. Oh, that is difficult, my friend. Very, very difficult, because you have nothing external to focus on once the onslaught of negative thoughts come in. Whereas in my guided app, if I cannot handle my thoughts, if I start entertaining them, I just tell myself, okay, listen to the person talking. And then when I divert the attention, the person tells me, focus on your breath. Automatically.
Yeah, correct.
Focus on my breath. Right. So sometimes
I remember what it was during Langkawi lah, before Ironman Langkawi, before the swim. Right. I was very quiet. I was standing there by myself. Everyone was around me. And then they were chit-chatting. So I was quite quiet. I wasn't doing any visualization, but I was just quiet. I was trying to quiet my mind. Yeah, so I was kind of go inward because I didn't want to be nervous. The swim, I'm always forever scared of the swim. Yeah, so I always also kind of tell people like if you're nervous before the race, to do the belly breath. Yeah, to always focus on the breath and really start a short meditation. It's not a meditation, but you just focus on the breath itself just to calm yourself down. Yeah, so again, the application lah. So I think I'm just thinking about the applications of meditation and really training the mind to push yourself a little bit further, like you say, embracing the suck, find challenges that really challenge your body, really fine-tuning the mind, and just move that needle of willingness to go a step further beyond your comfort zone. Yeah, just coax it out. say it's okay lah, come lah, we do an extra 10K lah.
But and talking about that also, when you say tactile people, so for those people, right, actually a long one, if a solo long one, it can be a meditation. You have to listen to your breathing, listen to your heart, feel your heartbeat, just focus on it, and then you can start having this positive affirmation, like, you know, oh, I can do this, it's okay, it's easy, I can do this, I'm an athlete, I'm a runner, you know, just over and over again, which I used to do when I started running. It was like, oh, I'm so slow, it's so tiring. Afterwards, like, okay, change the conversation. Okay,
Yes, correct. Oh my God, thank you.
I'm
Thank you for doing that. Yeah, so yeah, changing your inner dialogue.
yes, we have to change it, because a lot of times the inner dialogue will go from bad to worse to the terrible. So
Yeah, so the more you repeat these mantras, the more it's going to get real, and it's harder for you to break through.
yeah, so we, as opposed to a negative mantra, go to a positive mantra. So when, like last time when I was a beginner, I'll tell myself, yes, I am a runner, even though running 3K, you're not going to die, right? But I am a runner. One day after a while, I was like, okay, I can do a full marathon. And after a while, it's like, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking down.
Yeah, don't worry.
There is no question.
I think this topic is very out there, especially for the
but I really like talking about it, you know? So I am thinking about doing another one eventually. Yeah, when we get the Skype to work properly. And then we migrate all this over to the other platform. You know, so again, if you guys have any questions, just type it in the comments. You know, we can still reply in the comment section, right? Okay.
And also remember, a lot of high level athletes, pro athletes do meditate. Like LeBron James, you were saying, LeBron James
a lot.
A lot of athletes do it, you know, a lot of pro cyclists do it. Visualization is something they all do, right? So it's not something that is okay. Perhaps a lot of times they don't even realize it's called meditation. For them, it's like, I am preparing my mind for training, or I'm visualizing because my coach told me to. Therefore, I do it, and there is something for me. But when you ask them, do you meditate? It's like, no, meditate. Come on, I'm not a yogi. So
I know.
we need to reframe how we look at it. It's actually
it has a very close association to yoga.
Yes, that is the problem.
I know.
I don't think LeBron James does yoga.
Huh? What?
I don't think LeBron James does yoga.
I don't know. Okay, they'll call it stretching.
Yeah, stretching, right? Mobility drills.
Correct. It's the same thing, but with a different name.
Yes.
So, okay, so before we close, if you is there any last words that you want to give, you know, to tell people? Yeah.
Okay.
I'll think of mine too.
I really think that if we can bridge the gap between trying to perfect our physical performance and trying to do this mind game and you know, fortify our mind, I think you will reach the next level of your own personal performance and your own personal training, because because like physically we can do that much. We are given that, to a degree, your genetics play a big part, your training play a big part, but once you maximize all of that, right, that's it. And then after that, you're always chasing that few seconds here, few seconds there. You know, you buy a new shoe, you know, you want to upgrade your bike to be a bit more aero with about 5K or 10K more, but that gives you so little. Whereas if you were to just tap into this untapped potential of yours right here, it may give you a lot more on a lot less. Do you have a message?
We have a question.
You're so happy.
All right. Question from Lenny. Okay, what kind of app is good for beginners
Oh,
start meditating?
okay. If you Google right now, meditation apps, right, you will see about like 10 to 15 apps in the market right now. The most popular, which the one I hate most, is actually Headspace. Okay, so in Headspace, it's just an orange dot, and I hate orange, the color, not the fruit, but the color. So that app doesn't jive well with me. I personally like Simple Habits. Actually, right here, let me show you.
Yeah. Please show me the color.
Simple Habits, this one, right?
It's white. Okay.
What with blue? That one, Simple Habits, right?
All right. Yes.
There's a Simple Habits, and I find that is very suitable for me. But there's a lot more like Calm. So it's and a lot of these give you like a 1 week trial or a 2 week trial. Just try them. Just try them because you may find a certain app the user interface suits you, or certain app or the certain voices of the audio suits you. So you want to find one that feels good enough for you to keep returning to every single day. That's about it.
Yeah, so Tony says that he likes to use Muse. It's a little bit expensive. Never heard of Muse. There's so many apps out there that I don't know about. So many new ones.
There's a lot. Because technology-wise, they are trying to use this untapped potential between your ears. So, like I told you before, yesterday, the Hello Band,
Hello?
the Hello Band, right? So, last I remember, they actually did this Hello Band on a bunch of cyclists, and they did a control, which is the placebo effect thing, and once they actually turn on the Hello Band, and they actually don't find much difference. But again, this is still preliminary. Maybe in the near future we'll see a lot more. Okay, and which, by the way, placebo effect does work. It does work right here. Yeah. you think you are taking a vitamin that will help enhance your performance, and even though the vitamin is nothing but sugar, you still feel that there is enhancement in performance. And
Yeah.
remember one time, in Langkawi, I think Chris asked a question whether because I presented that clean in research wise, actually salt pills are not necessary because your body does regulate to some degree. Then he asked what I thought, and then no, that question I told him that I only present what the research tells me or tells you, but at the end of the day, it's still up to you. But when I went back, I actually thought about it quite a few times, and I realized this: a lot of times, especially in endurance sport, right, we have a lot of rituals, and I realized I have a lot of rituals as well. We need to eat a certain kind of food. We need to eat at a certain time. We need to go to bed at a certain time. We need to wear our favorite socks, our favorite tri suit, our sports bra. We need to put on our favorite sunscreen. If anywhere in between this whole rituals, right, we don't do, our race somehow just doesn't go well, and we'll say because of that lah. Because of that.
Yeah.
So this is where peer plays a part. Whatever you've been using during training, and for some reason you truly believe that is helping you, regardless what research says, regardless what I tell you, if you truly believe this is my lucky pair of shoes, I wear this shoe, I will run PR. Okay? Or this particular brand of salt pills is the holy grail. If I take this salt pill, I know I'm going to have a good race. Regardless the salt pill got salt, no salt, right? Just take it. Because when you believe you're taking something that will ultimately help your race performance, it will help your race performance. No one can explain why. All right. So that is where this placebo effect comes in. So, do whatever ritual, whatever thing you all believe, just go and do it. So for Sue, it's meditating before going to swim. Therefore.
Yeah, it's true. Meditation, for me, I mean, this is the last point that I'm going to make lah. So meditation to me means clearing of the mind. So once your mind is cleared, it's open to receive So this is the prime time for you to reprogram. So what Doc Pui San has been talking about this whole entire time is about how to reprogram your mind through meditation. So yeah, so I do hope that some of you give it a try, you know? What's so hard? Huh? What?
1 week free trial, both of the apps.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Headspace. We became superstitious aunties. Kui said that.
Tell Queen also, she believes all anti-fatigue pills and stuff like that. It is true. If you believe, therefore it will happen. I also have my own ritual. Before I swim, I will go to the sea and pee in there.
Oh my God.
You know who taught me that? Seafood Terrence did. Because of him until today, if I don't do that, my swim will not go well.
Oh no.
So everyone has their own superstitions.
Doc Pui San, by the way, was training for the Saru Ironman.
I don't do it anymore.
Until this happened.
Yeah, I think next time next year, I think so.
Yeah, so we will train again for next year. So everyone's going to do the Saru next year. So everyone go swim beside her.
Don't, I do breaststroke way. I think that's about it, right? I don't ask questions already.
Yeah. So for anyone who wants to follow you, follow Doc, you can find her on Instagram. What's your handle again? It's not undersized for life.
It's Undersized for Life. That's my personal one, which I post on memes. And my ones that I educate is on Dr. Pui San.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Pui San. Yeah. And her website, drdrpuisan.com.
Which I need to update next week.
Okay, so thank you, Pui San, for joining us today, for coming and telling us about this. I was so happy when you came to me. Yeah, hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, do that again.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll just start anytime soon.
So I will repost this. I know this video is in Zoom. I'll repost this once after this with all the overlays
Right.
back to the group page again. All right. So thank you for the questions. Okay. All right. Ta. Bye-bye, guys. I'm pressing the button to end meeting.
Bye.